In this video, we're going to talk about the Quest 1 offer for the Valiant EQ for this month. So let's jump right into it. There are going to be 15 fights that you can take only with Mutant champions. And at the end of it, there is going to be a boss fight for which you can bring in any champion. Now, this whole quest is primarily based on Mutant champions, so you have to use your Mutant roster. The nodes are going to be, the first one is Seeing Red. So mutant attackers will reduce the potency of bleed debuffs by 90%, and when they will activate a special attack, they will remove any bleeds on themselves and give themselves a fury, increasing their damage by 35% for each stack. You can get a max stack of 10 and get your damage increased by 350%. The next node is going to be Biohazard, so when you will attack the opponent, there is a 20% chance you will get a bleed, but if you hit in the block, you will get a poison on yourself. So avoid the poison at all cost. And also there is Bloodletting, so the duration of the bleed debuffs on the attacker are increased by 100%. So this node also helps you out, increasing the duration of the bleeds, giving you enough time to throw a special and convert them into furies. And then there's going to be stunning immunity that you will see in this fight against Winter Soldier. So if you use a bleed immune champion and you try to hit the opponent, whenever you're about to apply a bleed with Biohazard, you are going to trigger your immunity, and whenever that happens, the opponent will go stun immune for 4 seconds. It's not a big deal. You can dance around and bring him down. Not really difficult, but it does add an extra layer of complexity, so just be wary about that. You notice that the bleed immunity triggered again. He went for stun immunity for 4 seconds with that node. Now, having that out of the way, these are the champions that I use in front of your screen. I will also mention them in the timestamps with all the champions and who I used. I just had a very quick look around on the map. For me, the fights that you need to be careful about are going to be the first fight that is going to be against a kitty Pryde. Then there is the next fight is going to be White Tiger, because she is going to gain all of that power when she's about to die, so she can throw that SP3 and wipe you out. So we'll talk about that also. There's also Sorcerer Supreme, but that's okay. I would highly suggest you guys to run Willpower, because Willpower will keep healing you up with all the debuffs that are going to be on you, especially with the bleed, so that's going to be super helpful. There's also going to be a Hulk Ragnarök and before the boss, so there are only 4 to 5 fights that are difficult. Other than that, it's a pretty easy and straightforward quest 1. So bring in your mutant champions and you should be good. For this fight, I brought in a bishop, 7-star rank 2, and I took up Captain America World War II. Just simple SP1s. I was focusing on converting all of those bleeds into fury so I can do more damage. The next fight is going to be Unstoppable Colossus. I brought in a Mr. Sinister. You can bring in other champions too. My whole idea was that because Mr. Sinister can also heal up with all the bleeds with Seeing Red, and also against the crits, and the willpower will help. And also the Unstoppable from Colossus, whenever he's going to activate a special, he gets an Unstoppable. So I can just simply parry and hold my heavy, and I can waste the whole timer on the Unstoppable, and then I can go in and throw my SP1s, and that should be enough. Although I did not get all the degeneration, but that's okay. I was able to control the Unstoppable quite easily, and I was able to take him out relatively easily in the end. There are other champions that can work too, but I like to keep it minimal and not really worry about the Unstoppable. So Mr. Sinister works super well for me. Let me know in the comment section what chambers did you use, or did you follow this 100%, and I'll be back with the next one as well. So this is going to be a gameplay video only, not much commentary on it apart from the difficult fight. So the next commentary you will hear will be on Sorcerer Supreme, White Tiger, and also Hulk Ragnarök. The next fight is going to be against a Mantis. Now for this fight, all you need to do is to make sure that you always push her to an SP2 because she can really put you into sleep with her SP1 and that can be really annoying to deal with, especially if she gets in a loop of throwing the SP1s. That is going to be difficult to handle. So all I like to do is to either use 4-hit combos and block or just use 5-hit combos into a special attack so I can create a separation. And once I have enough separation, I'm going to wait out for her to dash in with a medium attack, and then I can either reparry or wait for her to trigger a special attack, trigger a heavy attack. Soon as she triggers a heavy attack like that, I go back in and attack, and I am able to take out Mantis quite easily in the end. So just be wary about the sleep. Rest you should be good. The bleed should help you get through. The bleed should help you get the Furies quite fast, and you should be able to take her out, ending up with a big special 2 with Apocalypse, and that's about it. Mantis is down. Now, usually Sorcerer Supreme is a very annoying fight because of her special attacks. She just gains power like anything. I've brought in a Gambit and I make so much mistakes here. I almost go down, I almost die, but I am going to heal back up. This shows you that you really need willpower, and that really helps you out because she's not only gonna apply slow on you, she can also apply armor breaks, and you're also having bleeds from the node seeing red. So when you have 3 debuffs, so your willpower region will be crazy and you will heal back up quite quick. So just build up all of your prowesses and throw that SP2 and then SP1 chains out, and you're good to go. Look at my healing, 616 per tick, and I am healing up very quick. And plus, when I use a special attack, I also get the Furies because I'm going to dispel the bleed. So all of that works out pretty well in the end. So with Sorcerer Supreme, try to push her to an SP2. That is much easier to evade, and you can drain more power. But you can also keep the SP1 and get more debuffs on you, so you can heal up with the willpower. So depending on how much health you have, you can do that. And Sorcerer Supreme is a good place to get your champion back to full health, as health is going to be the limiting factor in all of this quest. So try to use your healing champions whenever you're down on health, and you should be good. And we have another annoying fight. That is going to be White Tiger. To be honest, the fight is really not that difficult. Just try to push her to an SP1 and then SP2. Try to make her alternate her specials and you're good to go. Make sure that you keep hitting her and you don't get cornered. Otherwise, she can be really annoying to deal with. Another thing that is important here is by the time she gets to 15% of her health, she is going to gain a big power gain. Now make sure by that time she is not already at 1 bar of power because she can get really passive and get to an SP3. So your job is before you hit 15%, the user interference will also prompt you is to make sure that she is below 1 bar of power and you keep baiting again and again to make sure that she does not get to an SP3. Otherwise you will die and you will have to use a reviver, and if you're trying to do itemless, this is where your run ends. So this fight can be a bit annoying to deal with. So here we are, we've brought her down to 41% and I've got 2 of those furies only. I am just trying to make sure that I get more furies, throwing in my special attacks while I have the bleed so I can get those furies up. And she's almost down. You notice it says approaching power gain, just be careful there. And I've just pushed her to almost 2 bars of power, and now I'm just here trying to bait out the special attacks because I know as soon as I take her down she is going to gain a big burst of power just there, and I need to make sure that I don't push her to an SP3. So constant baiting, I should be good, and I managed to escape that with full health. And just like that, White Tiger is down. Just make sure you keep that in mind for that fight and you should be good for the remaining path. Sabretooth is all about his region, so if you save up an Archangel for this fight, he is going to like really kill him very quick. All of those neurotoxins will help you stop the bleeds and also deal quite a bit of damage. If not, you have other champions as well that can do the same. Just make sure that you have some kind of heal blocker, otherwise Sabretooth can be really annoying to deal with all of his regions and then this constant spam of such special ones, and he can create a lot of issues for you. But then again, if you have Archangel saved up, I would highly suggest you to do that. Look at him dying, look at all the neurotoxins stacked up, and he's almost at 2 bars of power. And here I am just waiting for him to throw a special attack, but he keeps getting stunned. So I think he just died there and then without throwing a special too, and was a very quick fight. We're just nearing the end of the path, so now this next one is going to be a Rhino. So I saved up dust specifically for Rhino because he gets those unstoppables on him and also unblockables. So my idea was, because there is a grid buff on dust when she has her storm active, so I'm going to use it to my advantage. So I'm going to just build up to around 40 of those sand charges and try to get up to almost 3 bars of power. And then I'm going to use my heavy attack to activate the sandstorm and also to activate the grit buff on me. Now I don't need to worry about the unstoppable. That is an afterthought now. So I'm just gonna wait for an SP to him from him, and then a big SP one. Boom, boom. None of them crit. That was annoying, but that's okay. I've got a lot of prowesses. This should be the one. 94,000, 73,000, and 79,000, and he is gone. You gotta love Dust. If you know how to play with her, she is just awesome. And this is going to be the last annoying fight. That is going to be against Hulk Ragnarok. I forgot that there is going to be crit fail, and that is going to trigger Hulk Ragnarok's passive ability. So make sure that you bring in a champion that does not have any kind of passive damage like a degen or something, because Hulk Ragnarok will activate his face me, and that is going to be annoying to deal with. He's going to heal back 70% of that damage, and he will be a bit annoying as a fight, but that's okay. I've brought in my Domino just using my SP3 with all of those bleeds, and I tried to get to an SP1 before so I can refresh the SP3 bleeds, but he was being very passive. But that's okay. One SP2, building up to an SP2 myself. That should be a big one with a huge crit. Just there. I've already got bleed, so I have extra damage, and boom and boom. 151,000, and there goes Hulk Ragnarok. And the last fight before the boss is going to be a super easy one. That is going to be a Captain Marvel classic. Nothing too difficult about her. SP1 and SP2 is easily evadable. Iceman with the biohazard. I don't even have to worry about the poisons. I can hit in the block. So I'm just going to spam my special ones, because I'm going to gain those furies anyway whenever there is a bleed immunity triggered. So I don't need to worry about using a special attack to gain those furies. So all I need to do is to spam my SP1, and every now and then I can throw in a heavy attack to detonate those. Boom, just like that, and down to 15% into another SP1, and before we know it, she is dead. The boss is going to be a She-Hulk. She has accident prone and also combat deja vu. So if you use the same special attack twice in a row, she is going to go unblockable. And also whenever she is going to throw a special attack, she is going to root you with I Am Root. You can use any skill champion, to be honest. I'm just using Shield here because of the gamma charge, advantage I get, and also there is a lot of those cleanse that I can use to remove the debuffs from accident prone. Other than that, pretty simple, straightforward fight. If you want like a more detailed analysis on this fight, you can check out my video on the Paragon Gauntlet. And before we know it, with all the heavy attacks and bleach, she is going to die. Thanks for watching this one, guys. I'll be back with the quest number 2, and as usual with all the videos of Valiant EQ. See you next time. Bye.